Hey everybody, welcome to the Mark Parham podcast. You can follow me on Rumble by typing in Mark Parham and I should pop up. You can also follow me on YouTube by typing in Mark Parham, and then also I'm on Spotify. All you have to do is type in Mark Parham podcast and I should pop up. So I was looking at the Super Tuesday results, and Nikki Haley. It was really embarrassing. I mean, Nikki Haley. It's almost what is it? Almost like a clean sweep. And Nikki Haley still wants to go out there and go against Donald Trump, and it's a mess. And you can tell that she's being supported by Democrats because she doesn't stand a chance. She's not going to ever be president of the United States, and she just keeps on coming out there, and it's always like she's going, to say something bad about Donald Trump when the Republicans need to be coming together. I mean, anybody can see the writing on the wall. And before all this stuff came up with Super Tuesday and the voting, I mean, she should have dropped out long ago. I mean, to have it go to Super Tuesday, and it's just bad. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump has such a strong following where they can put up any other Republican candidate to go up against Donald Trump like they did, and it didn't work. They tried it to bring in Chris Christie as like this person who was like a bully, attack dog. That didn't work. The Republicans have been trying, the RNC, they've been trying to do everything in their power to stop Trump, and it's not working. And Nikki Haley just made herself look like a fool. And I think the state of Vermont voted for, they supported Nikki Haley. I think she won Vermont. And but besides that, Donald Trump won all the other states. And it's just embarrassing. I don't know what she's thinking, but she must be out there because she's getting money from outside groups and Democrats. Something's going on behind the scenes, because this almost reminds me of when Nixon went against, who was it, George McGovern. And, at that time, George McGovern didn't stand a chance. The same thing with Nikki Haley. I mean, her ideas, people don't support. One idea that she had when she was talking about people should have to have an ID or register to go on the internet, just her social media, something like that. She just had crazy ideas about the internet and, the war, and she's just all over the place. And I don't see how any Republican could support a woman like that. Again, it's a free country, and we can support who we want to support because America's a country like that. But she just doesn't stand a chance. And I think some people, the Republicans put her out there. Not the Republicans, but the RNC put her out there because they were just praying that she could use the whole "I'm a woman" thing against Donald Trump. And Donald Trump had allegations with that woman that came out. I mean, they timed some of the court cases to basically mess Donald Trump up. I mean, they had Donald Trump going into court when he should have been out there campaigning, and it still didn't work. So, the whole Nikki Haley can make it to the White House argument, it's falling apart. And I don't even think that's her real name. I mean, that's, even though she goes by Nikki Haley and tries to play herself as this all-American girl. But that isn't even her real name. And you notice they never talk about her real name in the mainstream media, and they rarely show her husband. And they were trying to sort of do the Kamala Harris thing, show the husband, at the end of at the end of the road where people vote for you. Then all of a sudden, oh well, I didn't know your husband did this. It's just a lot of dirty tricks that the mainstream media and the RNC and the DNC are doing behind the scenes. And that's why, like I said in the previous podcast, I'm very proud of the Trump supporters, because the Trump supporters are still backing Donald Trump. And all of the old political tricks they would use, they're not working. And it's just a mess. You're seeing all these old swamp creatures, I call them, like Hillary Clinton. They're coming out against Donald Trump, and Donald Trump would be horrible for the country and all this other stuff. And if you notice, we had more peace in the country under Donald Trump, as far as what's going on with these wars and stuff, than some of these other presidents. I mean, at least the other countries knew that, America was serious. We had a president that wasn't going to just spend countless money on war and, get things straight. And so, all of these old fossils in politics are just, as I call them, just are coming on TV and, just creating and making up lies. And it's to the point where people don't believe them. And I don't blame Americans for not trusting some of these politicians, because every decade it seems like they just get worse. Every decade. I mean, people thought it was bad in the 70s. And people thought it was bad in the 80s and 90s. I mean, look at what we're getting right now. I mean, if you look at the Democrat Party, the Democrats back in the 90s and 80s would be considered conservative compared to the Democrats you have now. I mean, look at someone like AOC. Anytime somebody goes out there to question AOC, she's always finds a way to weasel her way out of a situation or run away or run from the cameras. And so, we have politicians that talk a big game, but then when somebody wants to question them and do a little research and, actually hold them accountable, they scatter away. And so, like I said, Nikki Haley will never be president of the United States. She can even try to run again, and people will not. People just don't, like what she stands for. She's somebody that is. She's a perfect candidate if you're into the military defense industry. But right now people don't want to keep on giving money to the Ukraine. And if you look at Zelensky, I saw an interview with him, and this man can't even give an honest answer. When people ask him, oh well, how are things going with the war, and try to find out little things about where the money's being spent, you never get a clear answer. So I don't blame people for not trusting a lot of these politicians and a lot of these leaders. And I think Donald Trump I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump wins maybe 40 of the 50 states against Joe Biden, or even more. Because anybody supporting Joe Biden right now is, I don't know, maybe they need to get their, worry about their mental health or something. Because Biden has been a disaster. I mean, every time you turn on the news, you don't ever hear any good stories about what's going on in America, what's going on with crime being lowered or the border or anything. Like, there's no good stories to tell. So that's just my opinion. I know I'm rambling, but again, follow me on YouTube by typing in Mark Parham. Follow me on Rumble by typing in Mark Parham. And then also you can follow me on Spotify by typing in Mark Parham Podcast. I should pop up. Thank you.